Hi Libra, this is a general reading for the second half of March. It will be focused on your energy. I view the tarot more as a psychological tool rather than a way of fortune telling. So for more info about that and how you could interpret it as a viewer, check the link below. And let's get started. Libra, what's going on inside that pretty head of yours? In the recent past, you've got the Moon, Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. The Moon is Piscean energy, and it's a bit dark. And we had the full moon in Virgo recently, day before yesterday. I think that you have had a talk with your dark side. And when I say dark, I mean that side that is not out there every day for people to see. You're more intimate thoughts and fears and desires that you don't dwell upon in the everyday life. You've had a soul searching recently, and this is useful, very useful to do once in a while, but it has left you in a state of instability. Two of Pentacles here. In the past, I think you're feeling like you are in the middle of the sea and there's no land inside. And it happens. We all have that experience once in a while. And for you, it might have to do with a person in your life. King of Pentacles here. Taurian energy, it could also be Earth or Aries. It might be a person in your life that you are having second thoughts about, and a person that in general is stable and hardworking, but can become a bit too stable, like stagnant. And right now there is an inner turmoil in you that doesn't go along well with this person or with this ideal that you have of what you should be. So to make it clear, it could either be somebody you're connecting with or the you that you thought you wanted to be. Somebody who has their work and is focused on the material things and can produce and be successful the way we define successful in the capitalist society. And deep down, you feel like maybe you can't conform to this ideal, and it brings you to a point where you have to choose. What do I choose? Do I choose to follow my deep and dark desires, or do I choose to conform? Do I choose the lonely way of creating and bringing life to all of my crazy thoughts and ideas, or do I choose to lead a stable but somewhat boring life with someone? In the present, I think you are expressing your wish, all of whatever the result, whatever the product of this soul searching is. I think right now you are expressing it, and you have the desire and need to work with the people in your life to see if you can create something out of it. But it looks like you or them are feeling a bit powerless. You've got strength in reverse here, Leo energy. It's like you have this need and these desires, and you want to see things come to fruition, but either the person you're connecting with is not very strong right now to help you through this, or you don't feel very strong. Because you don't fit into this box that society thinks you should fit into. I hope this makes sense for you. And you need to express this. There is a come on, why am I losing my words? It's not an opposition, not a dilemma. It's like you have reached the point where the two options cannot come together. You have a strong need to make things come together and to work with people, but it's like you have reached a mute point. Is that? I'm not sure if that's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, I hope you get me. There are two things that one is contradicting. Yeah. One is contradicting the other. Like, we should work together, but we are not strong enough. Or I should follow my dreams and my desires and make them come true, but I am not what society thinks I should be in order to make that happen. So what am I? Am I my feelings and my ideas and my thoughts, or am I the musts and shoulds that were dictated by somebody else, an outside force. When you feel this kind of distance between two parts of yourself, one of your premises is probably wrong. And now in the present, you have a need to look for it and to discuss and to express all of these thoughts to yourself and to the people that are involved with this, and to find answers, because you need to move forward and you don't know which way to go. I'm sorry. I know I'm paused for a long time, but there's something strange happening here. And I think it's this. The problem is this: there is a fault of logic here. Any arguments you place, any arguments you can think of, the conclusion seems to be off, or it seems like there is no conclusion. But something in your premises is off. It's like, well, I wish for so much. Why? And I have the idea and I have the thought, why can't I make it work? Why do I feel powerless? Something is stripping you of that power. Is it the connection that you have put it in your head that you should have that connection? Is it the rules of society? Is it the system? I don't know what it is, but something is stripping you of your power. And you have to find that before you can make a choice. Because otherwise this choice will not be informed. And that's why you feel the need to talk about these things and analyze them and express them. But at the same time, I think you're afraid that expressing what you want and what you wish for will bring pain to somebody in your life or to you. 3 of Swords here. There is also a small possibility that you are in a 3 people situation. And you think you can make this work, but looks like somebody will get hurt no matter what you will do. So we have pain here, but it's something that you are not ready to address right now in the near future, because your wish is so strong and you so much want this to work, whatever this is, but somebody will get hurt. And it's like you can see what sort of world we could make if we all work together and if we leave the fear and the indecision and the feeling of powerlessness out of it. But at the same time, you see that this world is not possible. There are obstacles. And you can't move on. But you see a way in the darkness, and yet the next moment you feel like you can't take this way for whatever reason. Either because you are, let's give an example, because I hope I have not confused you very much. I am also confused. That's why it has gone like this reading. So, let's say you have met somebody that looks like they could be what you have wished for a long time. But you are in a connection and you feel there's nothing you can do about it because people would get hurt. But you feel so strongly and you have seen and you think maybe this could work, and how love cannot work. And the world would be a much better place if we could all love who we want to love and live together. But you can't make it happen. You can't move forward because you have been stripped of your power, because society tells you, no, you're married, you can't do that, or no, you cannot hurt others for your own happiness. But there is a problem in our thinking here. There is a problem in everyone's thinking. What happiness could the other person have if you just stay with them out of a sense of duty and you are unhappy in this? Nobody can have a scale and say your happiness values more than mine and somebody else's happiness, or our happiness is worth more than yours. The only thing we can do is we can try to make our happiness as best as we can, and we measure the pain against the gain, and whatever is bigger. You might say, how can I measure somebody else's pain? How can I take this responsibility? You can't. You can only measure yours. And this is the point. We can't be responsible for other people's pain or happiness. Each one of us, of course, at some level, you can't leave your kids like 5-year-old kids and tell them, you're responsible for your own happiness, I will not provide for you, or whatever. But when we are talking about adults here that can fend for themselves, the first thing you have to take care of is yourself. You cannot offer other people happiness if you have not achieved this state of content for yourself first. And we have narrowed it down right now to this connection and relationship stuff, but this is true for everything. You cannot fit the standards of society if you don't. What good does it do to fit the standard somebody else has when you have not achieved what you want for yourself first, even if that means that you will have some difficult times, or that your family would be disappointed or hurt by your decision. What good does it do to just conform to all this? I mean, okay, you might build, you might produce something, you might make money, you might have fame, but at the end, what's the point if you feel like your wishes, like it's not what you wished for, it's not what you wanted? I guess what I'm trying to say is the only way we can give our best to the people around us and to the world, and the only way we can make a better world is if we are good and if we're well within ourselves. And you cannot give something that you don't have. If you're not happy, you cannot make anybody else happy. And the absence of pain is not happiness. Just because you choose not to hurt somebody, it doesn't mean that you or them are happier because of this. Because sometimes pain happens, and it's a lesson that you have to learn to move forward and be able to do more for yourself and others. And this is just how it is. And sometimes, yeah, death here, Scorpio energy. Sometimes pain and death and loss needs to happen to make way for better things. And it's inevitable. It's part of life. Death is a part of life. Just trying to postpone and avoid it doesn't work. You just meet it head on, and then you move past it. You can't hold on to it to get forever. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse, Judgment in reverse. Oh my God, 9 of Swords. Fuck, Libra. Why is this so difficult? Why is it so difficult to make the life you want for yourself? You know why? Because we have been, from birth, we have these notions put inside our heads that for what is correct and what is right and what is wrong and what is moral and what is not. And we are afraid that if we break any of these contracts with society, it will bring pain and chaos and mayhem. But is it better if all this is just inside your head and it's making you crazy and it's preventing you from living and sleeping and everything? I mean, if it's there, there is a reason. We have not found it yet, because maybe if we answer these questions, we will have found God. But being a human is a very complicated and strange experience. Being a human in a society is even worse. But we have to explore and question always, and in the end, we are here for such a short time that maybe the biggest wrong we can do and the most immoral thing we can do is not be true to ourselves and what we want and how we want to live our life. I'm not saying go out there and kill a bunch of people, obviously, but I am saying that you should find what makes you happy, and if people have a problem with that, they have to find happiness for themselves. You cannot be responsible for everybody always. You can be. I don't want my words to be misinterpreted. I don't mean that you can go about hurting people just to hurt them. But if you have seen something or someone that will make you happy, and if you have seen a world where there is love and compassion and people are working together and make their happiness, and other people can see that, or society cannot see that, you're not responsible for them to see it. And you can't offer it to them if you have not built it and if they don't want to see it for themselves. Everybody has to find their own way of getting there. And they have to be true to themselves first. And you have to be true to yourself first. And I have talked a lot. And maybe it didn't make any sense. But the bottom line is put your own oxygen mask first before helping others. You can't help them if you're not well. That's it. Bye, Libra. Love you.